helicopter cover-ups for October 5th. So there was a lull for the entire day until 10:11 at night, and that's because on around the 2nd and the 3rd, I unlocked videos from private to public on my YouTube accounts from May, June, and July. And so on the 4th, I thought he was back to harassing me. I thought that everything was audited so bad that it was like either over and he was pissed, or he just lost it, because like in the thing I said he lost his mind because it was neurotic. There was an episode where he flew low all over and he was harassing me again and like coming down to get me. And so the 4th was crazy, and then the 4th was crazy because I unlocked videos from private to public, and people saw certain events that they hadn't seen before. And so nothing happened all day on the 5th until 10:11 p.m. I said that I was going to bed, and so then he came out and he mobbed over the 2-story house to Oliveira, and then he went up and left, so towards James Crystal's house. So from Geronimo, he crossed up over the 2-story house and then went up towards James Crystal's house and Coronel Alicia intersection. Everyone knows who James Crystal is. And so that was a cover-up for the event the day before to hit the same line, and also because that line is in order to do the tail wave line, and also to cover up for the show the bottom of your helicopter as white line, where he tried to dodge me back and forth in my backyard after I found the blue bottom, white top military helicopter. Then they tried to fly the police helicopter over me to show a white bottom. So those are some of the events where he's flying straight over my house back to front. And then at 10:16, I went back inside and said I'm going back to bed. And then he went right to left in the copter pocket, and he went really slow, and then he did a straight dart. So that was to cover up. I mean, really slow. He slowed down a lot, and then he did a straight dart. And those are the parts that I'm talking about, having compartmentalized cover-ups. And so now I'm recording this on the 31st, and only today and slightly on the 30th have they started combining things and doing it more methodically. But it's a little late, and it's still really compartmentalized, but he's doing a lot better of a job combining things. And so like this one, for instance, looked really bad. He went really slow and then did a straight dart. And so I guess before I said that maybe they just do things based upon what's required in a court, because it doesn't look right. But then today they started covering it up differently and doing it more methodical, so maybe it does matter. And then at 10:19 I found him. So then that one he went by right to left, and then he went down and did power circles at Geronimo Montia intersection at 10:19. So he did that. So that's three events, two basically. So I was going to bed, he crossed over, went out towards James Crystal's, and then he came back on a loop, which is also part of the return. So the return is the fact that he led me out over on the 11 o'clock line, and then went down to Caladad and then tried to spotlight me, and I ran home and he chased me back. Another time he chased me back was when I deleted the apps from the Geronimo Montia area when I ran back up from the park, and I deleted the apps and then recorded him chasing me back home. And also the Geronimo Alicia intersection K9 unit when he chased me back home. So this is kind of like a return. So it's like an obscure, like one of the many return events that they've done. And so he went out to James's, and then he came back, and then he did power circles at Geronimo Montia. So it was a return, and on top of that, it incorporated one of the events, basically both of the events from the power circles at the park, and then chasing me back. So some of these things, if like later on, if I get the opportunity to analyze and put everything in properly, you'll see that it's all very compartmentalized, and there are things that overlap that shouldn't. Like some things are situational and based upon calls, and some are said to be routine surveillance, and a lot of things conflict. If you notice, they'll take the parts apart and you'll see that certain parts don't make sense. And so this is one of those instances that kind of highlights that.